Wilfried Nancy could be back in management just 22 days after getting sacked by Celtic, and trust me, you need to hear where he's headed. Captain Callum McGregor is publicly begging the board for help. Derek McKinnis's controversial comments are causing outrage, and we've got major transfer news that could change everything before Monday's deadline. It's been an absolutely wild 24 hours. But first, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Wilfried Nancy could be back in management just 22 days after getting the sack from Celtic, and according to reports from France, he's being linked with a new job. Nancy's brief spell at Parkhead was one of the most troubled managerial reigns in recent Scottish football. The Frenchman lasted just 33 days in charge, winning only 2 of 8 games and surrendering 12 points in the league. His final match was that brutal 3-1 home defeat to Rangers, a result that basically sealed his fate and left Celtic 6 points off the top at a critical stage of the season. But here's the twist. According to reports from France, Nancy could be landing back in the dugout sooner rather than later, and his next stop might be in League Two with the historic club AS Saint-Étienne. Now, despite Saint-Étienne already having a manager in place, Eric Hofteland, sources close to French football publications claim Nancy's name has been offered to the club amid growing pressure on their current boss. A recent 1-0 defeat to Reims has only intensified scrutiny on Hofteland, and some supporters have been calling for change. Saint-Étienne have been in decline in recent seasons, a far cry from their glory days, and they currently sit in 5th. While they're not yet in crisis, the mood around the club has definitely soured, and the board are said to be exploring their options if results don't improve. Here's the intriguing part. Even at the very start of Nancy's short Celtic tenure, there were whispers in French media that Saint-Étienne admired him and saw him as a potential fit for their project. Those whispers now appear to have turned into concrete speculation. So there you have it. Nancy could be back managing in less than a month after one of the shortest and most disastrous spells in Celtic's recent history. Now for the main story, as Celtic have reportedly entered the race to sign Bodo/Glimt striker Casper Höh in a late window push to add firepower up front, and they're battling Norwich City for the 25-year-old's signature before the transfer deadline next Monday at 11 p.m. Höh has been in the spotlight recently after a standout performance against Manchester City in the Champions League, where he scored twice in Bodo/Glimt's famous 3-1 win. That game only amplified interest in the Dane, and now Celtic are understood to be among the clubs chasing him. The striker enjoyed an excellent season last term in Norway, finishing with 17 goals and 6 assists in the Eliteserien, and he also registered an impressive 7 goals in 14 Europa League matches. Bodo/Glimt enjoyed a remarkable run in European competition last season, reaching the Europa League semi-finals before eventually being knocked out by Tottenham Hotspur, then managed by Ange Postecoglou. Höh's blend of goal-scoring instinct, physicality, and experience in European competition has made him an attractive target. Norwich, currently in the Championship and managed by Philippe Clement, is also keen on Höh and has been actively pursuing the transfer. How the situation plays out in the next few days will depend on negotiations between the clubs and, crucially, whether Celtic feel they can get a deal done on terms that suit them, whether that's a loan with an option to buy or a permanent move. With just days remaining in the window, this could be one of the final opportunities for Celtic to add the kind of attacking reinforcements the squad has desperately needed. Höh is one of the most eye-catching names linked in this late stage, and if Celtic can get it over the line, it would be a significant statement of intent from the board and Martin O'Neill. In other news, Callum McGregor has once again sent a clear message to the Celtic board saying reinforcements are needed, and they're needed now. 6 months after making a public plea in the summer for new signings, the Celtic captain has doubled down, urging the club's hierarchy to support Martin O'Neill in the final week of the January window. This comes with Celtic sitting third in the league, behind Rangers and table-topping Hearts, and with just 2 loan signings made so far this winter. McGregor, speaking to the media ahead of Thursday night's must-win Europa League clash against Utrecht, said, "Obviously there's been a big thing made about it, recruitment, this season especially, but I think every season you need to keep strengthening, keep trying to make the team better and the squad better. So it's much the same, and obviously everyone knows the situation that we're in. We do need a little bit of help in terms of quality, in terms of boosting the squad, and I'm sure the manager will get the players that we need. The attitude and mentality to fight and keep going will stand us in good stead for what's to come. There's no dressing it up. This squad is stale, short of quality in key areas and running on fumes. The summer window was a massive letdown, and while Celtic did finally move this week for striker Thomas Kvankara and fullback Julian Araujo, more is needed, and fast." McGregor has every right to voice these concerns. The fact he's had to do it twice in 6 months should ring alarm bells at boardroom level. Supporters are also asking how a club can bring back a legend like Martin O'Neill and then fail to properly back him in a title race. The return of MON has lifted the mood, no doubt, but even he has played down the chances of 3 or 4 additions coming in, suggesting 1 or 2 may be more realistic. But the reality is clear. If Celtic want to retain their title, they need to invest this January. The window closes at 11 p.m. on Monday night. Let's hope they finally get the message. In other news, the fallout from Celtic's 2-2 draw with Hearts at Tynecastle has taken another twist, with Derek McKinnis's post-match comments drawing widespread criticism and calls for an SFA investigation. McKinnis publicly expressed surprise after Austin Trusty's red card, claiming he did not expect VAR to overturn referee Stephen McLean's original yellow card decision. In the lead-up to his comments, McLean gave Trusty a caution, but following a VAR check led by John Beaton, McLean upgraded it to a red. That decision proved pivotal, coming with Celtic leading late in the game and ultimately allowing Hearts to rally for the equaliser. In the immediate aftermath, Martin O'Neill was clear in his own views, insisting he didn't believe it was a red card and accusing VAR of effectively re-refereeing the match. Celtic have now confirmed they are appealing Trusty's sending off, but it was McKinnis's wider comments, particularly a remark suggesting Celtic don't get red cards domestically, that have sparked the strongest reaction. That's a comment you expect from Chris Boyd in the studio, not a top-flight manager. Speaking on Go Radio, former Celtic midfielder Peter Grant didn't hold back. He said, "I thought Derek's comments about Celtic not getting red cards were really poor. I think that's ridiculous. The SFA should look at that because that's trying to put pressure on referees for me. I'd like Derek to say where Celtic should have got a red card any time this season. If he can point out incidents that he thinks Celtic have got away with, fine, no problem. But I thought it was a ridiculous comment, and it's nothing to do with that game. It's rubbish." Arguably, McKinnis's comments place undue pressure on match officials and cross a line into questioning the integrity of refereeing decisions in Scottish football. Comments that could be seen as undermining referees often attract scrutiny from governing bodies. With the SFA increasingly keen to protect officials from external pressure, McKinnis's statement may yet be examined, but there has been no sign of that yet from the association. Lastly, Chris Sutton did not mince his words after Celtic's 2-2 draw with Hearts at Tynecastle, and his reaction summed up the mood around the club. The former striker delivered a fierce assessment of Celtic's performance and the wider direction of the squad. For Sutton, the result itself was not the real issue. It was how Celtic were pushed around for long spells and what that says about where they are right now. Sutton's criticism landed because it matched what many saw on the pitch. Celtic were second best in key areas, especially once Hearts found belief and momentum. Even before the red card, the home side were winning battles and forcing Celtic into uncomfortable positions. Sutton framed it as a warning rather than a single bad afternoon. The timing of Sutton's comments also mattered. With the January window nearing its end, his focus quickly turned from the match to recruitment. That's all for today's Celtic news. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. We'll be back later with more breaking news and updates. Come on you, boys in green.